Once the recording begins, everything changes. It's way beyond my little power because I don't have any power. I'm an Atma. I float in an omnipresent power like all of you. Whenever we imagine something and it's dear to us to manifest it, if it's for the good of all life, the one power manifests what we imagine. We do not do that ourselves. People on earth are taught incorrectly that their brain in their head, they imagine billions of dollars and then life just gives it to them. It's not really the way it works. Sometimes people are given huge amounts of money, or they come into it, or they're born into it, or doors are open for them for reasons that they had nothing to do with it. It just happens for some reason beyond our understanding. A lot of the things that happen for people that become very successful is done without their actual participating in it until the doors open and they walk through it, and then their lives change. And they're tested to see what they do with it. Let's put it that way. So when we first go into the hue 6 times, what we're doing is connecting ourselves as Atmas, hovering above the body, however you picture it, spherical like a planet, has a structure unlike a planet, it has layers to it, teardrop-shaped faculties, and a white core. It has a spectrum of layers going through the spectrum of color to a violet exterior and a golden outer layer. And so this is what we actually look like as a soul or Atma. That's what we've always been and will always be that. We can manifest human-looking bodies, run them, get trapped in them, or any number of things on many dimensional levels. And we've all done a lot of that. This whole hue expansion ray thing floating through our galaxy and in through our solar system and through Earth now is not being done by anyone on Earth. No one on Earth is saving their own ass from destruction. No one on Earth is changing the politics or religions or doing anything like that. It is being changed now in ways that people in power do not control. Otherwise, they would have succeeded in annihilating all life here, decades ago. They're still subconsciously trying to destroy themselves on this planet. The only reason it has not happened is because it's been prevented from the stars, from out in the greater heaven, out amongst the other planets, and in the higher dimensions, where we go all the time. You're very fortunate to be able to go on such journeys, I can tell you, because the rest of humanity probably will not get an opportunity to go on these journeys. Number one, they're not practical to guide thousands of people at a time. I mean, there could be a big stadium or coliseum or big hotel conference sometime with thousands of people in it that could go on this, but that would be unlikely, the way the world is and the way it's changing. So these guided journeys are for getting a few boots on the ground, heading in the right direction along the way to a larger transformation. That larger transformation is being orchestrated from out amongst beyond Earth, out in the galaxy, and from Source itself. So it really isn't a choice of people on Earth, because the free will people who think they have on Earth is not true free will. The free will they think they have was usually used in fear to destroy themselves. And it's been done many times on this planet and other worlds, where you've lost lives and loved ones and had bodies and all that kind of stuff. What this journey does, when we step onto this hue expansion ray energy path, it begins to take over. It changes our future destiny permanently in ways that were never available before, never possible before. This is all I can tell you. This is the only doorway through which this information, this experience is being channeled to Earth at this time. It's not what I want. It's not what I wanted. There has to be enough people awake enough to help with that kind of guidance. And this is where we're heading, so that the hue expansion ray, the energy of the hue, can recharge Earth's depleted water systems. H2O, two gases, first of the atoms in the universe, combine to make water, but it also has the capability to not only make water, but store vast amounts of energy. It can collect or coalesce like a sphere of golden white light around water molecules. And it's depleted in Earth's atmosphere, which is why the energy that people breathe and live in is not high enough to get them to see above the negative stuff. The hue comes along, pushes them up above the waves they're down under, and it pops their head above the waves, and then they can see for themselves, and they're offered at that point the opportunity to decide to have all subconscious negative stuff gone forever. When that time comes, that'll be erased automatically. People will be set free from that. First, they have to come up high enough in vibration to ask to be able to see. You can't dump it on someone's head when they aren't aware of anything. It would just destroy them. They would destroy themselves with that extra energy. So we have to do this very carefully. We will do the 6 hues now together. You will hear my vocal cords do them. And then all of you just sing it. You have perfect singing voices as an Atma, by the way. You don't have to ever learn how music or how to sing or have perfect pitch or any of that nonsense. You've known that over millions, billions of lives. It's not a big deal. It's something that's built in. So you sing perfectly, and you'll hear it that way. I use my vocal cords so that this telepathic communication can be heard by you. Your ears will hear it initially, and then when your body goes to the trance state called sleep, you actually continue to hear it as the Atma, not with your physical ears. Your physical ears can hear sounds outside or a truck go by or something like that. That's perfectly normal. It's an automatic defense mechanism your body has to hear danger or sounds. It goes back in the evolution of human bodies, billions of years. So, you might hear something. If you're in a deep enough sleep trance state, you're so far out of the body, nothing would wake you up. So most people don't sleep they don't go on conscious journeys that deeply. We go on journeys beyond what you can do on your own out of body at night when your body's asleep. We go much further than that. And it's some master teachers and some of these beings we meet that guide us in such a way. And they do it by personal example until we're advanced enough to do it for ourselves. That's what they do. I don't sit around all day and go on journeys to the Satnam's realm, I do it during these journeys for the benefit of other people. Occasionally I go on them myself, but I've been there so many times and I go there so many times. Better to involve a lot more people in it for their benefit, to help them wake up. It's a very big challenge. Because people on earth are not easy to get them to voluntarily give up the bad addictive habit of fear. They indulge in it their whole lives. They see it on the news. They see it on the internet. They grow up with it. Their parents grow up with it. Their religious teachers grow up with it. And so they're just filled with these conflicting good and bad things. Splits the consciousness in half, divides the energy of manifesting ability you have for the hue to fill your imagination, and grounds it to the earth. It keeps people recycling over and over again, not just on earth, but other worlds too. So once the hue crosses your path, that all begins to change permanently, and it is not reversible. In the past and other lives, it was. Now it is not. Your body naturally goes into the trance state called sleep because Shantiel and Tonaltiel and Dantiam to Lamtiam are assigned to both of you, Kwan and Wararika. I don't have to tell you which is to who, it doesn't matter. You can just see it for yourselves. And Pari has a different couple behind her. They're all just as advanced as each other. They leave their bodies from a galactic line ship that is stationed in our solar system now. is really relatively unknown to the classified Space Force or people in a classified government. They know craft are coming here, they monitor them, but they don't really see the Emerald Star Cruiser. Unless the Emerald Star Cruiser wants to show themselves, nobody sees it. Not on radar or anything like that. And they're there to help make sure we don't destroy ourselves. It's basically why they're stationed in our solar system right now. Dantian, Lamtian, Chantial, can't even remember their names now.
Chantial, Tonatial, Dantian,
Chantial, right? Tonal teal, Dantian and Lamtian, that's right. I have so many names in my head sometimes, people that I know. I know a great deal more of these Galactic Alliance personnel than any of you. I often visit with Wumalam and
Tamlur.
Yeah, Tam Lure in the Mount Shasta base, and John Troll and Sundima, who are the captains of or commanders of the Emerald Star Cruiser. So there's many more that I have not had time nor the inclination to introduce any of you to them yet. Maybe it's not important. At some point you'll meet so many more anyway. You'll find yourself as you do, just like when you imagine going to the store. You now know that it's not your brain that's imagining this. You close your eyes, the mind shuts off. You don't imagine anything. The brain isn't designed to do that. What people are not taught growing up here, that they should be, is that the imagination, the ability to see into the multidimensional universe, it doesn't come from the mind or brain in the head at all. It comes from the Atma, running that body through the pineal gland. And it's the pineal gland. It's one of the best kept secrets I want to say which organization on earth knows about it, keeps it secluded away from public knowledge. That's also part of disclosure. On common worlds out in the universe, they know about the pineal gland and their body form, and they know what it does. And they know they're running that body from it, putting it to sleep and leaving it every night. That's what normal people that travel the stars do. They're not just trapped in bodies aboard ships running around the galaxy. Most of them visit their destination before the ship even gets there. Think about that for a moment, what that would be like. So you're getting the experience of going on such journeys now. Where we go on what we do, a spaceship cannot go there. Not for the Galactic Alliance, not for anybody, not even for the Dos Ventalis race, 5 galaxies away from us, where their physical bodies are located. They have a much higher form they show us in their training facility. It's at the end of the Western Roadway, right turn to the right, by the white diamond-like beach in the Hugh Expansion Ray Academy. The Hugh Expansion Ray Academy did not exist before 12 or 13, maybe 14 years ago. When I first started working with building it with others and Satnam and all that. Building there does not take place like it does here. It's brought directly into existence through the imagination. The ability of the Atma to see new things, the Hugh just fills it, just like Turellian does when he shows you his 18-foot tall body that looks solid and human. It isn't. It appears that way, you could touch it, but it's not made of atoms. The pyramids at the bottom of Earth's oceans are not made of atoms. They look solid, they look real. Classified scientists, military see them, they know they're there, can't touch them, can't blow them up, nothing works, nothing even affects them in any way. They're run by silent mentors. It's not possible for people in the lower worlds of time and space to affect them in any way. So that's something you need to know about how more advanced devices and technology work far beyond Earth. In this case, the pyramids are a co-creation of Satnam and silent mentors, and even myself, because they had to take a form. But I don't run them. I'm not the power that runs through them. That's the omnipresent Hugh. Silent mentors run those kinds of doorways. They run the big portal doorway we create. They run the portal doorways between dimensions and between galaxies. The technology of the Galactic Alliance is capable of traversing 144 parallel dimensions that make up just the physical universe. That means there's 144 different Earth planets than you know about. You know about the one you live on. You know about the one 3 dimensions up that has Lemriel and Atlantis on it. No polar ice caps, never flipped its poles. You know about world systems that exist in the 2nd parallel dimension. One goes through Land's End in Cornwall, England, which has to do with elven people and magic and that kind of thing. It's just a different form of the hue. People are raised there to wield their imaginations in energetic ways without machines or electronics. That's all it is. It's still just moving frequencies around. So if you get an idea of how this works, then we go to such places. We also go to far distant planets in our galaxy. Oceana is one. That's where Opelum lives, even today. That's where Et and Din have their home, even today. They have immortalized physical forms done by choice in cooperation with Satnam and higher things, because they serve a purpose, because it's important. They represent, I suppose you could say, they represent a loving, adorable, non-human, masterful couple that people will get to know or will have to get to know among many types of beings that aren't human. We get over all the biases and prejudice and silly little stupid crap on Earth. People on Earth aren't taught to look out among the stars when they're growing up, so they don't. There's more fear in front of them that way that should not be there, because there is no threat from the stars that's coming here ever to blow up the planet and take over. The threat is amongst the human beings quarreling amongst themselves over ideologies and idiotic ideas about God that don't exist. They make them up to control people, to have power and money, and that's the truth. That has to come to an end on this planet, or life here will be extinguished again. Don't take it for granted. The gift of life here and deciding to transform a planet has never happened before. So we're experiencing part of that. As we go into the 6 U's, do them silently in the sanctuary of your own being with me, and then we'll go on this journey. And we will go visit the Das Ventalis teaching facility at the Western Roadway in the Hugh Expansion Ray Academy. First, we're going to get out in space and get grounded, living and seeing and knowing beyond planet Earth's atmosphere. I'll begin those tones now. When you see what your body looks like from the ceiling, you're simply looking at it the same way you look at going to the store, except you're looking down at your body from the ceiling. Same thing. People aren't taught to do it. They just don't do it. They have no confidence to do it, so they don't know how to do it. They think it's impossible or it's hard or whatever they're taught growing up. It isn't to be free. When you look down there and you look to each side, you see, in the case of you two women, Shantiel and Tonaltiel and Dantiam and Lamtiam, standing tall, about 6 feet, blue-gray uniform, single body form-fitting uniform fabric, shoes are included, Galactic Alliance symbol on the right chest, silver golden galaxy with a 4-sided golden-sided quartz-capped pyramid hovering above the central nucleus of that galactic symbol, 3 blue stars in triangular formation hovering above the tip of the pyramid. When you look at Opellum, which we will do in a moment, you'll see this symbol on his uniform. He wears that not because he normally does on Oceana. He doesn't wear that kind of clothing there. But he is the sponsoring establisher, or co-creator in a way, of the Galactic Interdimensional Alliance of Free Worlds over 500,000 years ago. And the being behind sponsoring that silently was Ambassador Torellian of the Seres back then. What is being shared with you cannot be forgotten. It's not in your mind memory where you can forget things every day, people's names and that kind of thing. It is something that is awakened in the teardrops that surround the individual being you are that get turned on and stay on. There are many to repair or fix or awaken or put a little energy on to turn them on that are turned off on many levels. The many levels of the color in the Atma represent the different planes or dimensions in creation. Physical, astral, causal, mental, etheric, the void, Satnam's realm, the Hue Expansionary Academy, all the dimensions above there, all the way to Agam Purusha's realm, to the source or prime creator, and there are several major divisions above that that were not in existence before either. Really, above the ocean of sound and light, or the source or prime creator, is the silent mentor realm. This is way beyond planets or anything like that. And above that is the Hue expansion ray plane. So this new quality or characteristic of energy coming from the source behind all light had to manifest a kind of an administration. It has a form. Someday I'll take you there. And that form administers this new ray coming down through the silent mentor realm. They're how do I put it? They are personnel in the Hue expansion ray plane, among others. It comes down through the planes. It comes down to the source or prime creator. It comes down into Agam Purusha's realm as raw power that he generates downward as an individual being, very powerful. A humble being. This is not a tyrant. He's never been a tyrant. That comes on down through into Satnam's realm, through the void, the etheric, where you have a body you're running, the mental, same, causal, astral, where all emotion comes from, and the physical body you know of on earth. You're running all of them at one time as an individual Atma. This is a responsibility we have. It cannot be avoided or shrugged off or forgotten. I mean, sooner or later, you're going to want to know what forms you're running on different planes and get them all working together. This is why we always, well, most often, go to those planes on our way back. We're bringing an energy from above them into that realm with Satnam and Torellian, bringing it all the way down through those bodies, waking them up, and down through your physical body where it continues past you into Earth's atmosphere to continue to charge the H2O. That is what we're doing now. It's not in the future. It's right now. So you see yourself near the ceiling, and then you see these two beings hovering beside you, showing you a human peering form. It is not a human form. It's not made of DNA. Their physical bodies, four-stranded DNA, are back on the Emerald Star Cruiser, sitting in a lounge chair with their eyes closed and their chins tucked to their neck. They're out of their bodies. If they want to go on these journeys, they got to go this way. Their ships can't go there. Their ships can travel all those billions of stars out there and see all those worlds on many levels in the physical universe before you get to the astral plane barrier, which has to be crossed by energy to go from the physical to the astral. Normally, spaceships cannot cross that barrier. They're made of different time rate molecular matter. And the two just don't blend. It's done deliberately like that for a reason. What we're doing on these journeys is helping you to recover your ability to think and imagine in a multidimensional way while living out a practical life on Earth, actually becoming more balanced and more practical than what you're used to. The hue doesn't make a person imbalanced and put them on the street living in a teepee or on the street or something like that, or pushing around a shopping cart talking to themselves. The hue does the opposite. So bear that in mind. There's a white, golden, soft light kind of raining down through us, through the ceiling of the home where you live. It's coming from the pyramid above the garage where I live. Two silent mentors run that one. And as long as I keep my P's and Q's together and keep that flowing through me, I can't be attacked or approached by negative things. Nothing in the lower worlds of time and space. No one can control the satellite through this Zoom journey is being done. They've tried, they can't do it. Satellite continues its normal function, but there's a part of it that is wrested the control away from them. They know there's certain things they cannot block or hold back. They've already been told they must disclose, or it will be done for them without them, around them, leaving them in the dark and the cold when everybody else finds out, so to speak. It's not an idle threat, it's a promise. They get on board or they get left behind. They won't be harmed. They'll catch up after everybody else does. And they won't feel very good about it. So it's like that. The Hue expansion ray is now in charge of this planet. People on Earth do not own this property. They do not own this planet. And they don't own anybody else's planets out there, and they never will. This is something that people on Earth must humbly learn one day. They cannot go and play among the stars carrying all their garbage consciousness from Earth with them on spaceships, including weapons of mass destruction, because the Galactic Alliance will never permit them to do that. Ever. As in never. Until they can be trusted with it. So what's underway is to get them to be trustworthy, awakened people who can play among the stars and be invited to join the Galactic Interdimensional Alliance of Free Worlds. It is not a federation. It is vastly larger than any concept like that. So it must be called by what it is. It's very simple. Of course, it has a galactic standard language name that you wouldn't understand now, but interpreted in English and then in Thai, it's Galactic Interdimensional Alliance of Free Worlds, because that is exactly what they are. So we go back to Satnam. We go back to Opelum, Master Opelum, and the Oceanan people, because they're very much involved in and part of this new wave of energy, this Hue expansion ray. One of, I suppose, the master teacher that in some way instructed Satnam, or not Satnam, but rather Opelum, was Sayre's ambassador Trellian, a long time ago. These guys were evolved beyond physical forms a long time ago. And they had every hand in all of the DNA structures of body forms, animals and plants, human, humanoid, non-humanoid forms that Atmos could run, higher nervous systems, play among the stars and play in spaceships and grow up. This is what the Ceres scientists did. In time so far long ago, it would stagger your imagination. Human beings are billions of years old. They didn't evolve in some paradise or Garden of Eden on Earth. That Garden of Eden wasn't even on this planet. So there's a lot people need to recover. They pray to a God. People all over the world pray to some form of God that they think is out there in some heaven. They look up at the stars at night and they don't realize it's out there in all of that and much higher in higher dimensional realities. The difference between Galactic Alliance personnel and us on Earth is they know this stuff, the universe they play in, that black void that isn't black to them is pure energy, living conscious energy, in which all things like galaxies float. Electrogravitic or electromagnetic fields are field forms of the hue that surround an atma or a planet or a galaxy, so it can stay in balance with other spheres or galaxies, floating in a massive, singular, one omnipresent living power. It's right in space. The mystery solved. So the more people on Earth get to become aware of this, the more liberated and free they will be in their thinking, their bodies, the DNA, everything can change for people here. But they have to be ready to accept it and use it wisely, or they will not be given it. It's as simple as that. It really isn't the Galactic Alliance, as big and vast as it is, that dispenses with the immortalization of bodies or DNA. The technology's known them, amongst them, but such decisions are more on a masterful level and source level. It's the best way I've had of describing it. This golden white light has a sound to it that's pouring through the top of the atma you are and down through the top of your head of your body, sitting there in a chair. It's always moving through you by your cooperation, which you've given freely because it's the right thing to do. It flows in through the walls of your home and out into Earth's atmosphere, where it does things you don't need to be aware of. But in universal sense, you know what it's doing. The first thing it's doing is charging Earth's depleted H2O ocean water and atmosphere H2O. That's a gradual process that raises the vibration around the planet to where people can start to drop their negative hate for each other, themselves, and life. These hates are generated from what is backing them is fear. Fear they don't even know they have. And it is removable and it can be neutralized. So this is part of the process. There's a flash of brighter golden white light with a sound that sounds like deep humming, almost like a soft rumbling like thunder. No lightning. That is the sound the physical universe of the hue makes out in space. With instruments you could hear it, this noise of space. Physical ears normally cannot from human beings on Earth. But the Atma hears it more clearly in more multidimensional depth than any brain in any body can ever hear through ears. Ears and eyes are made to detect the light frequencies and sound within a given atmosphere of a given world. Those abilities to hear and see on any other planet changes slightly with the gravity, the air, and other things. This is something people have not yet discovered. The nearest planet with life on it would not have 365 days around its binary or trinary suns. And they wouldn't have polar ice caps. The effect of having near binary or trinary stars has an effect on the fact that the planets do not require polar ice caps. And so people evolve much more readily in the hue that is charged in their ocean waters, because those beings don't block that. They contribute to it. People on Earth are not yet doing that at all. That's the problem. That's why Earth stays stagnant, stuck, just like it is. So these journeys help you to let go of what you weren't, let go of the things that you were taught incorrectly, things that have fear in them, fear of the present and future. These are the things you have to drop from the field around the Atma through which you see the universe distorted. That's where what we call implants are. Negative programs on a subconscious level. So you're not aware they're affecting you. All of you are aware of when they're affecting you now. And because of how you know things, you're able to turn those things off by turning your attention away from feeding them energy. It's like any negative thing subconsciously is a program that only runs when you push that key on the computer and turn it on. For people on Earth, that's subconscious. So they don't have control of this. They're not in high enough vibration to see over it and above it and look down and do that. So we go on these journeys. These couples that are assigned to us keep our fears subconsciously of all nature from a billion lives turned off. So you can go on the journey, go to source, bring back to your life on Earth energy that not only is for your benefit, but continues through you for the benefit of others. That is how real enlightenment actually works. This is not taught to people on Earth either, anywhere that I know of so far. You might ask, where does he get this from? How does he present it to us? It does not come from this Earth. This work was not created on this planet. There's your answer. It was brought here. The white golden light flashes brighter, and we find ourselves in outer space outside of Earth's negative atmosphere. It's a beautiful atmosphere, but it's got this invisible storage of negative and positive diabolical things that people have done to each other since the beginning of life on this planet. Animals, people to animals, the whole thing is not normal or natural. It is quite unnatural. This is what people on Earth do not understand at all yet. What they call natural in nature, which is why they do what they do to each other, is not normal and is not natural. But they don't have any other option yet to choose differently. When it does wake up in them, as it is in you, you naturally begin to choose differently. We all do. It is our nature to be, or to want to be, conscious, trustworthy co-creators with the source behind all life. It's our nature. You get away the negative, drop away that negative stuff, and it's there, like it never left us. When it awakens in this particular situation we're in, a certain kind of wisdom is provided that we carry forward with us through eternity, so that we never become vulnerable to be trapped again. Necessary to tell you all this, share it with you telepathically before we go further. Out in space, we're in a circle of beings, all four of us. I'm standing next to Turellian. And of course, the form I show you, it's about 6 feet tall, looks like Captain Calum in a way, the form I've always shown people through eternity. He's 18 feet tall. He shows us the form he chooses to show us that he had as a prototype human with 12-stranded DNA that created all the life in the galaxy. All the body forms you see, all of that came from super godly scientists a long time ago. And it wasn't done on this planet or even in this galaxy. Up above him is hovering a larger Atma than we are, and brighter. That's Turellian, of course. His mentors are silent mentors. The entire Seres race are taught by them. Some of them become silent members. Some of them become a kind of a blend. And so when we meet with Turellian and other master teachers, and we go and play with the silent mentors, where the only place we can for now, we begin to change. we begin to have the insight of what a silent mentor does that has no real regard or concern for individually protecting or raising or enlightening individual atmas. That's not their job. At least it wasn't until recently. Their job now is to help, I suppose, evolve with Torellians and master teachers on one side and silent mentors on the other, all of us into something different than we've ever been before. Kind of a blending of a silent mentor and a master teacher. So we can also play in the universe, but also have a regard, a respect or concern for individual atmas and nurturing younger races to move forward. That's our job. We're supposed to be trusted co-workers, custodians, and caretakers of life on planets like Earth. And people on Earth are doing exactly the opposite of that right now. They're not custodians or caretakers of anything. That's a big problem for Earth people. The only way to fix it is to raise the vibration of the hue stored in Earth's water vapor. I'm giving you a great secret in eternity right now. It is not known well on Earth. There are scientists that have worked out that water has multidimensional capabilities. I've met such scientists who proved it, but they still don't know just how vast and deep how the hue works in being stored in it. They don't know about that part of it. They don't know about what makes water multidimensional. That's becoming aware now in some circles on Earth. Opelum is standing in the circle further out in space, opposite of Master Ramu. Pari's to my left, I'm to her right. You two are on the opposite side of the circle. Light Seas standing between you, opposite Pari. And these Galactic Alliance couples that keep your fears turned off are standing tall, smiling to each side of you. And this is a body form you show each other, always have. Looks to be about 36, all perfectly gorgeous women. Perfectly handsome man as far as I'm concerned. Turlian's always been like a Greek god. I mean, describing what he radiates and glows like you can't even do in human terms. And he doesn't do any of that because he's on some ego trip. It's just who he is. When he's giving you his 2 thumbs up, you have no idea what he's giving you. It's not temporary, it's permanent. And it's expanding. They are too. Etta and Din are hovering above the Atma that is Ambassador Trellian, with their tails glowing straight out behind them, standing on their hind legs. They got a big toe and little toes, a big thumb and little fingers, just like humans. Look the same. Pale green skin. It's not moist like a salamander. They're not a lizard. They aren't from Earth. They're not a reptile. They got this big jaw that looks like they're amused about something when their mouths are closed, and big bulbous blue eyes, dark blue. Their photographic memories, vocal cords, they speak English, they speak any language, and they telepathically communicate in any language. Now, they're master teachers. So they're simply there to show us, or when the hue flows through them, through us, they're basically imparting to us the beginnings of being able to do what they do, to wake that up in the Atma. That's how they work. There are a dozen master-teacher couples, in this case all couples, standing between each of you and all of us in this circle. From different world systems, human, humanoid, some tall, some shorter, some with wings, some that look like Pashats, big tall cat people. They're part of the Galactic Alliance too. It's tall grays. These are good guys, not bad guys. You know, not all the grays were bad. They got controlled by another race, but they weren't originally that way. So that's all been corrected out in the universe. Now the problems that were imprinted on people on Earth, mostly before they were even forced to be born here. You okay there, Quan? Fawn, you still with us? Okay, she might have gone off to do something. Out in space, it is you that's out here, not your body. Charlian has his two thumbs up with his fingers, his thumbs up, about a foot thick golden white light, brighter than the hue of space. This is simply coming down through the vortex that's above Satnam, standing high up in space, below the opening of this vortex. It is hourglass shaped, big funnel on one end, tapered middle, big funnel on the other end, revolving clockwise, luminous with golden light hue light. Blue-green light circling around the outside of it, a little slower clockwise. These are shields of energy that project this portal, this interdimensional doorway, from space outside of Earth, all the way up to the void, bypassing the lower planes of time and space, into Satnam's realm, to the Expansionary Academy, and all the way up to Source itself. So let's prepare our contribution to this big vortex, which has been put in place for us before you come out in space to join it. We're going to make it a little brighter by putting the hue into it. So as I send out the hue again, simply send it out yourself. Match my tones. We're going to be affecting your astral body life, causal, mental, and etheric body life as we raise the tones, preparing them to be met with Satnam and Terrellium on the return journey. This is what partially this does. Now you can see that vortex up above us in space, standing in our place in the circle, is luminous. It's brighter. You can see up the shaft of this and see a pale blue, luminous light. That is the void. Terrellian raises his right thumb up with his closed fist, a golden white light around it, and he points out in space, beyond the Earth and the moon. You look behind you to say goodbye to Earth, and you see the polar ice caps, the beautiful blue oceans, land masses. You don't see any fences or cities or lights at this distance. And the barren moon orbiting the planet that virtually does not turn on its axis. Some people say it does, but I think this is because they don't quite understand how it can show everybody on Earth the same face. It doesn't really turn. But if you look at the axis moving around the entire planet, you'd think it's making a rotation. It's really not. It is orbiting the planet. You could call that a rotation, I suppose. but it's not turning on its axis like Earth. This is a problem. Now you look away from that problem knowing it's going to be fixed. And we find ourselves surrounded by a transparent golden white field of light that Turelian's created from his fist with thumbs up. It's a positive transmission of the U expansion ray, creating a form around us like the hull of a spaceship. It acts like a spaceship without moving parts, without electronics, without any of that. And we are shot up high up into space, not out in the galaxy, but high above it, way out in the void of space, to look down and see the Milky Way galaxy, the whole galaxy we live in. And off further to the left is the Andromeda galaxy, spiral like ours, slightly bigger. And out in the distance, millions of galaxies receding into the distance. We are above that, looking down on the Milky Way galaxy. Now we can see Turelian inside this transparent oval sphere of light, oval light that encompasses us. And we suddenly project all the way down to the opposite side of the Milky Way galaxy. We're going down one of the spiral arms to the planet Oceana. But we're not going into the galaxy of the Milky Way. Look at it. You'll see 3 galaxies, one stacked on top of another. And we're going into the one that's closest to us, the third one. There's a beam of energy running through the axis of all 3 galaxies. These are individual parallel dimensions, different time molecular rate of matter in each. So stay with it. Leave your body alone. Let it sleep. Your body does not go on these journeys. Your brain does not go on these journeys. You do. And we suddenly find ourselves coming down above this big planet. It's 4 times bigger than Earth. Has no polar ice caps. Luminous, radiant blue, calm ocean surrounding maybe three little islands near the equator. No other land. It's a completely water-covered world. Circling it or orbiting it are 3 planets the size of Earth, also with no polar ice caps. Those 3 planets that orbit Oceana orbit a trinary star system. One big blue-white young giant star, a bit further out a yellow sun larger than Earth's sun, and further out a sun referred to astronomers on Earth as a red dwarf. This is Master Opelum's home world. It gives you the idea that the Galactic Alliance is made up of worlds they travel between on multiple parallel dimensions. It's not just the planets in the Milky Way galaxy and the stars that are in it. It's bigger than that. You're going to see Master Opelum leave the circle of beings. He appears outside of our oval of light, and he moves as the atmosphere hovering above this physical form that isn't made of matter, so he doesn't need to breathe oxygen. And he moves down into the luminous properties of the atmosphere of planet Oceana. Almost a lavender and slightly pink color. We go through that and we find ourselves hovering above the central largest island. Luminous golden sands, crystal blue, luminous, calm ocean, glowing a foot above the waves, because there are no waves. There's no pollutants in this atmosphere. The atmosphere is charged with the hue. That's why everything glows. you can see Satnam, or pardon me, Master Opellum standing on this beach. He's in his Galactic Alliance uniform. You see Etten Din now hovering above each of his shoulders, waving us toward them. In the background, you can see clear domes towering above 3 golden-sided quartz-capped pyramids. In the background, they're pretty much the same kind of cities they have in those at the bottom of the Oceanian Ocean, and that appear throughout many world systems and on many dimensional levels. It's a universal form. We find ourselves standing on this golden beach with our bare feet. And the energy that's charged in this round golden sand particles moves up our legs, and a little particle goes up and places itself in the golden area around the white core of your being. Just makes it brighter, kind of a gift. In background of these domes, you can see they're cut out of forested areas, jungle forest trees, big jungle behind us, luminous leaves, trunks luminous with golden white light flowing up and down inside them, as normal planets have. Their sap, their water vapor in the trees glowing, charged. Obviously, you begin to understand that this imparts a certain property to foods, to fruits, and to people that is not available yet on Earth. We don't live on food, really. We live on source energy. The illusion is that we have to live to eat. It isn't really true, but I don't expect people on Earth to change into understanding that, like Galactic Alliance personnel do, just yet. You can see a tube, a round blue glass-like tube, transparent, running out of the jungle to your left. Comes out of the jungle from that dome. There are a number of domes in the distance on this island. It goes down into the deep depths of the ocean, several miles down to the bottom of the Oceanian Ocean. You're looking at this tube and suddenly something blurs inside it and instantly stops. And you can see a double terminated quartz-like car with a curved canopy open, and these 6 couples of Oceanian men and women stand up and just give you 5 fingers, wave their hand. And they sit back down, the top closes. In other words, they just came right out of the tube. Something that Master Opellum did. And then they're back in the tube, and they shoot away in a blur of light down to the ocean. We follow them, really following Master Opellum, who disappears in a ball of light down in the ocean, following these Oceanians in this transport tube, till we come to the bottom of the ocean and see that it enters a huge dome city. The dome city has 3 golden-sided, 4-sided quartz-capped pyramids surrounding a lower, long ivory-colored building, like a dome, like an elongated dome. A blue-green lake in the middle, semicircular small mountain range with little waterfalls and rivers running out of it. It's for the pleasure of these people who work there. You can see that these transport tubes come out of a dozen places around this dome and trail off into the Oceanian floor to connect with other dome cities. Oceanians are beings that are human that breathe underwater or on land. That's how they evolved long ago. Etten Din do not breathe underwater or on land, but they levitate and fly through the air as an organic species. The Oceanians don't do that. You look to the left and you see a volcanic chamber. It's like a oval-shaped volcanic tube, many miles across and hundreds of miles long. It goes up the side of the face of a mountain, which becomes the islands above the Oceanian ocean surface. They're hollow. There on the outside of it is a semi-spherical clear dome. It's a window to Etta and Din's home. So they can look out at the Oceanian Dome City and go inside their own chamber and meet with their own people in their central capital city of On. And we see them waving to us from inside their window. They just appear inside there and invite us. So we find ourselves, all of us, in a circle around Turellian, hovering in their living room. Obviously, we're slightly miniaturized in order to fit there, but dimension has nothing to do with it. Etta and Din walk down a slightly slanted, ivory-collared, smooth as abalone, kind of an ivory walkway. And we go down and come out, and we're in the middle of the central city of On. When you look at the back of this chamber, you see a waterfall cascading out of the back of this huge, 60 feet high. You know, it's even taller than that. I don't know what it is in Earth terms. Miles long. We're at the beginning of it, and there's a waterfall cascades down 3 tiers of water, so the blue-green luminous water pours into a long oval lake. It's many miles long. Around the walls and everywhere around you are huge crystalline forms. Every gem you can think of on Earth is coming out of the walls. They built their city around. They didn't destroy them. They have individual semi-spherical clear domes covering windows like living room windows all over the back of the wall that's curved and rounded. And Etta and Din are hovering in front of us, welcoming us to, and there are many other Dren people here, including Dren youngsters, floating about 4 feet off the ground with their tails glowing. And Etta and Din tell you telepathically this is their home. And that you can see they're showing you their actual bodies. Then you look above them and see the atma they are. And that atma disappears up through the dome, and we follow them. We're instantly out in outer space again, up above the poles of the planet Oceana. Above us is the hourglass-shaped vortex into which this golden shaft of light pours upward. Turellian raises his right fist with thumb up, and we are shot up this pole. And it connects directly to the tree of life. But we're not going there right now. We come out a tall, blue glass-like academy tower. It's like the one in the U Expansionary Academy, but smaller. And it is on the opposite side of the blue snow-covered diagonal mountain range in Satnam's realm, in the Atma plane. And we're hovering around a big fountain 2/3 of the way up this tower. It's just like blue stone, no statue of Satnam. It's like the one in the U Expansionary Academy. And they're connected together. And we find ourselves in an oval transparent light hovering outside this tower. We're looking over the northwestern part of the huge circular floating landmass that is Satnam's realm. It has different colored oceans of light, like curved sections of it that are butted together all the way around the outside of it, covering the spectrum of the rainbow of colors. Each one carries a different energy. This is different than the ocean of light surrounding the Hue Expansionary Academy. Out in this vast land area, the size of a planet spread out flat, is what is called, and we can see it, a silent mentor. Actually, it's the Say rays, not silent mentor, although, no. It's the silent mentor facility on Satnam's realm. And it's called Tramistale. This is something people don't know in the lower worlds, but they have a huge function there to maintain the Atma plane. They maintain the Hue Expansionary Academy. They maintain everything on every level of existence in creation. They are the mechanics of the universe. So we're very privileged to meet with them. When you look over this planet-sized area, you can see a big fountain, scarlet blue. It has a Christmas tree-like light moving up and down, looks like a fir tree, with a shaft of golden white light pouring down around it, encompassing it, surrounding it. And surrounding this are 3 golden-sided quartz-capped pyramids. There's a big one in the center, and then it spins out like the arms of a galaxy, with one every so often, until you get 7 arms of a galaxy represented here. Standing beside the top of this tree is a silent mentor couple, like Turellian with a female counterpart. And they're all over, hovering above each of these facilities that are connected to different places in the physical universe, below the void. It's kind of a management center for them. So what we're doing is hovering with Turellian now in a circle around the silent mentor couple above the central pyramid. The Hue expansion ray beam of light is coming down right through these silent mentors. Remember, they are atmas hovering above the forms they show us. One is a blue, one is a green, single pastel gown on, bare feet. One has brown hair, one has jet black hair. One has green eyes, one has golden eyes. But then you look at their eyes and the eyes disappear because they really don't show you facial features. And when you look into their white light golden face, you can see multiple levels of galaxies. That's how they think. The Atma is 4 times bigger than us, hovering above them. Twice as many teardrop-shaped layers of faculties so they can manage creation. And the energy coming down through them is going into this fountain. And then blue and green energy beams surrounded by golden light are sent into each one of us, into the Atma we are, and down and out and through the physical form we show each other. Turellian is also hovering outside of this tree-like fountain. Pelham, Vaitsi, Ramu, Vetan Din, many other master teachers are all on one side in a beam of light. The energy from them is coming through us in the same way, passes through us and goes right into the silent mentors and up this shaft of light above them. So in this way, we get to rub shoulders with master teachers on one side and silent mentors on the other. But remember, this is a facility with probably millions of silent mentors here. I don't even know how to count them. We know there's a single couple that generally regulates or maintains or runs each pyramid. Each pyramid has a fountain in it. Each fountain is connected to other pyramids and fountains throughout creation. At least that is the way things are now. Then we suddenly find ourselves up above this tower that looks like the Hue Expansion Ray Academy Tower. There's a shaft of white golden light coming down into it, and we're up in the middle of it in an oval golden transparent light surrounding us, being manifested by Turellian, who's at the center of it. I'm still standing by his side. Satnam's standing to his left side. And up above are 2 silent mentor couples hovering around the outside of this beam. And you see the Atmas doing something with this beam, maintaining it. This is what they do. And we're shot up at a tremendous speed. The next thing we know, we've gone up many dimensions. Actually, no, we've gone up just one higher parallel dimension into the U Expansion Ray Academy. We'll get going up further, but not just yet. We're moving from the top of the U Expansion Ray Academy Tower, with the 6 bluestone snow-covered mountains surrounding it, all the way above the western roadway until we come to a stop near the white diamond-like beach, with the wave that crashes on it softly, continuously, never stops. We turn right into a clearing near the ocean of light. And it has this Olympic-sized blue luminous water in it, redwood-like deck around the far side with a handrail. And down the length of the pool, it goes to a big rectangular building that has oval, oval, not semi-spherical, convex, pointing curved upward, number of 6 on the top, number on the side, and right in the center of the back of this deck is a round, split in half, blue glass-like door. And we're just there on the deck. This door opens into the sides of this building. A couple comes out. They're a couple from the Dos Ventalis race. Dos Ventalis. 2 are tall, about 10 feet. Son's about 6 feet, full mature adult. This race of humans do not grow full length, full tallness until hundreds of years. It's beyond the idea of humans. Their elegant movement with longer necks like the Zeonternamus race. Full-grown adults are approximately 10 feet tall. Don Truntil, the husband, has radiant green eyes. His wife Mumalam has radiant ruby red eyes, and their son Tiantasso has radiant violet eyes. The son appears to be a mature adult male, but half their height. They grow to their full height after a very long time that would boggle the mind of any Earth human. Like the Zeonternamus, they have bodies millions of years old that do not age. These 2 racelets are related to each other dating back 1 billion years ago in galactic history. Because they evolved together in another galaxy long ago. Back then, the Dos Ventalis race remained in the galaxy 5 galaxies away from the Milky Way, where good old planet Earth exists today. The other half of their race harmoniously split away from them to establish a new world systems in the Milky Way galaxy. They established themselves as the Zeonternamus race in the Milky Way galaxy. That world system is located on the other side of the galaxy, 180 degrees, in our parallel dimension. They have long, silver-like hair to their shoulders. Almost looks like silver metal, but it's soft. One of them has violet eyes like the Zeonternamus race. The other 2 have a different color eye. But the basic physical form you're seeing here was developed on the mental plane, where you're all scientists there right now, running bodies there that look like this, or like the Zeonternamus. No big deal, it's just a fact. They welcome us inside. And we find ourselves floating right through that opening, and we come out into an area that's the size of a soccer stadium, massive, with luminous, I guess it's a foot thick, tall grass, green grass, but it's alive, it's luminous. And up back in the back end of it, up near the, like 60 feet above, up near towards the ceiling, is a huge golden white sphere of light. And this is where people come to co-create things together with master teachers, which they can visualize and put her together and see it work out. You can see Earth, as you know it today, appear inside this sphere. We find ourselves suddenly with Turelian inside a circle of beings surrounding this planet Earth image, inside this golden sphere. We are all Atmas. And we begin to see images form of the transformation of Earth. It's revealed in the Ceres Agenda book, but here you get to see it on an intimate, intricate, planetary scale. And you're participating in it, boots on the ground. So you each imagine Earth being transformed, ships from the Galactic Alliance actually landing all over the planet at some point, and Earth being completely changed forever. It's always good to thank the couple and their son, for they are the master teachers that run this facility. They still have bodies millions of years old in a galaxy 5 galaxies away from Earth to this day, all the way down the physical universe. And we find ourselves inside this oval transparent light, produced by Turelian, hovering up inside a golden shaft of light above the Hue Expansion Ray Academy Tower. That hourglass-shaped vortex is in and around the beam that continues ever upward. And we're shot up it, and we come out the other end, many dimensions above there, in a fiery realm. This is Agam Purusha's realm. Agam Purusha just means it's an Agam plane, Agam plane, or dimension. Lok means that. And Agam Purusha is a huge spherical being that runs this place. And you see fiery light of every color of the rainbow coming out of the ground, whirling around each other, creating gargoylean images that disappear and fade and come back to life. And this huge sphere approaches us. He has a deep baritone voice like that of Source itself. And he welcomes us and he says, we have been given permission to go into the tree of life. And suddenly a tree appears in the fiery light behind us. It's a massive silver tree with trunks as big as planets, disappearing below us because there is no ground below us. There's no roof overhead, no walls. And this tree is a silver golden energy. Each needle glows. Each branch connects to a major division in creation. Each needle to a planet or a place. And we're moving right through the trunks of this tree, right through the needles, and as we pass them, we notice that each needle connects to some planet somewhere, or a portal, or an interdimensional doorway, or to the pole going between galaxies. And we're suddenly inside the shaft of the trunk of this tree, which is a powerful, brilliant golden white light, moving up and down its trunk, both directions simultaneously. So we're hitching a ride. And Turelian, myself, we take you up the trunk of this tree. We come out the other end. We are now in a much more brilliant cobalt blue space. There are no suns or planets or stars here. Just a vast infinite void of this luminosity. In the distance, you can see a single silver golden galaxy turning on its axis. Big ball, it's like a nucleus of stars in the center, like a galaxy, because that is where galaxies get their image from here. And we're passing through the outer layers very quickly around Turelian. And as we pass the first outer layers, we realize they're not stars, they're individual luminous beings, brighter than any sun. And there's a lot of space between them here. And we are projected through all the layers. We go into the bulge of this thing and find out we're suddenly shot into an interior 1/3 of it, which is hollow. And floating in the middle of it is a white, stone-like, disc-shaped island. Floating above it is a massive presence. Looks like an Atma, but it's gigantic. And it has many thousands of colored layers of teardrop-shaped faculties built into it. We're connected to each one of those. And we're suddenly moved through these individual faculties and we realize they are a living presence and they're very far away from each other. And we're suddenly shot into the middle of the white core of Source or Prime Creator. We do not have physical forms that look human here. Those have been absorbed back into the white core of our beings. We are all Atmas, our true original form. Then there's a voice that's deep baritone, and then it has these angelic bell-like qualities of a feminine nature to it. It's hard to explain. The sound of music running around here, the hue you hear here, cannot be described in human terms. It's far more beautiful than a million orchestras. And we hear this voice welcome us here. Here's what it says. Welcome. You have returned again. Home. This was your original destiny that you all forgot long ago, playing in the lower worlds of time and space. And now, in the hue expansion ray that emanates from here and from a few realities higher than here, you are flowing in this new ray at the heart of all that exists. The presence you see before you is not an individual being on a throne. It is a presence that can speak with you, that has a presence that you can experience, that is comprised of all Atmas throughout the entire creation and all the Atmas here connected perfectly together. You are individual drops out of this source. And now you will be returned carrying with you an energy from here that will move with you back down through the lower worlds and back to your life on Earth, and it will pass through your life on Earth for your benefit. But it will continue through there to your Earth's atmosphere for the benefit of others. Then there's a flash of bright golden light, and we all find ourselves in a circle of beings around Turelian inside this oval, transparent hull of a spaceship type thing. And we see what looks like in front of us, below us, an aurora borealis, or the northern lights. It is the barrier at the bottom of the void, because everything around us here is a pale blue luminosity. It is the void, far below Satnam's realm. And this oval light passes right through this barrier, and we come to stop, and we find each one of us individually standing on a foot-thick, golden, quartz-like glowing floor of steps leading up to a crystalline, transparent palatial estate. And you're in a body form here that's transparent. You see the energy centers in it. Looks human. Ageless, perfect. Maybe about 36. But these aren't physical bodies. These are etheric molecular structures. And your eyes are closed. Well dressed. And then Turelian and Satnam appear standing by this body. The energy coming through them compels that body, which was in the trance state called sleep, put there along with your other body forms, the beginning of the journey. Opening its eyes, it looks around mystified, then in wonder, with childlike wonder, it's compelled to look upward to see across the void into Satnam's realm, to make the connection. Then it's compelled to look downward to see your mental body standing in one of 80,000 island continents. Palatial estates, yes, but much brighter matter. It's like whole islands have individual stars around them. They're not like the structures in the galaxies below. And you're standing on a balcony, well dressed, in silver long hair, 10-foot tall bodies, violet colored eyes, ivory colored skin, with your eyes closed. And Turelian and Satnam appear beside them on the deck, whatever you're standing on, and compel them to open their eyes with joy and look up to see the etheric body looking down at them. Awake. They make a connection. The etheric body looks down to the mental body. The mental body is looking down to the causal plane. Entire major division. to see your causal body standing on one of many luminous, sandy, luminous islands in tropical paradises, the size of entire worlds. Very different. And you're standing on a deck by a dome, clear domes, usually trinary dome system, 3. And they appear, Satnam and Trillian, standing beside this body and get its openness eyes to look up to see the mental body seeing down at it. And then that causal body form, well dressed, is looking down to see your astral body form standing in bare feet on a luminous blue diamond-like beach with a calm, luminous ocean surrounding it on an island, each one even on a different island. There's a domed home behind you. Your eyes are closed, and Trillian and Satnam appear beside you and compel you to open your eyes and look up and see the causal body looking down at you. There's a connection made. And then you're compelled to look down to the Atma you are, both hovering above this body at the same time and also hovering above the body you have on earth, up near the ceiling of your home. And the energy of the golden white light of the Hue Expansion Ray Academy that comes up down to it from the source itself is moving down through you as the Atma. You still show your 36-year-old human-like body, well-dressed, next to the Galactic Alliance couple who smile at you and vanish. You can see all the way from the Atma you are here that they are getting their bodies up out of sitting positions in lounge chairs aboard the Emerald Star Cruiser to go about their day. And this energy passes down through you, through your sleeping body, out through the walls of your home, where it connects into the atmosphere, passes through it, charging it gradually. It connects to 3 pyramids on Earth, 2 at the bottom of Earth's deepest oceans, 1 in hollowed out interior of a mountain in the Himalayas, where they have fountain inside each one. These are statues of Satnam. They are devices. The energy of this you brought back continues to move through Earth's atmosphere, goes out into space where the 3 beams connect and are beamed to a greater pyramid, golden-sided, quartz-capped, hovering in space between 2 stable asteroids in the huge asteroid field that circles the sun in the orbit of what was once a planet between Mars and Jupiter. That energy is then beamed all the way to the galactic core axis of the Milky Way galaxy and right up the shaft, all the way back to source where we just came from. We are back. When you're ready, open your eyes. So we got to do a couple of very interesting, life-altering journeys. You find it changing your consciousness in subtle ways. It's no reversing this. You just become more capable of understanding these journeys. You know this stuff now, don't you? Kwan? You just have to let yourself know this stuff. And same with Warriga. How do you pronounce your name? Warriga? Okay.
Wararika. Or you can call me Rika. Is
Rika.
why.
Okay, that's easier. Rika and Kwan. Well, now we can stop the recording and do a questions and answer and make this a total of an hour and a half recording, which is good. It's short, not too long. What would you like to do? Let me ask all 3 of you what you would like to do. That means, do you want to record this? Do you want to cut it off, shut the recording off and then just talk? Or what would you like to do?
Do they have questions?
Do you have any questions?
Yes, I have.
Okay, what is that?
Yes, I have a question about 5 questions. But
Okay.
it's come from I reviewed the previous journey that you and Miss Pari put in the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Can I put my question
Sure,
in the
sure. Yeah,
inbox first, and you can answer for
yeah,
all of them in the
that's
same
fine
time.
because all these journeys are connected anyway.
Okay, I will send all because some the answer you already talk in the journey too. Okay, I will send one by one, and maybe you can answer in the same time for all of them.
You can request the same couple if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, the U Expansion Ray Academy and the U Expansion Ray Plane were brought into being through Silent Mentors' efforts because they were motivated to do it. Sat Nam, people like that. I guess is about the time I started working with it. Started out with a tower and a structure and the roads, and it's expanded. It kept expanding. Through the years, it was built, and other teachers, other people became part of the U Expansion Ray journeys, not just on Earth, out in the galaxy. And so it was built that way to manage doing one thing, really, to retire the old failed experiment of good and evil in the subconscious of people on planets like Earth and in the lower dimensions of time and space, to set creation free. That's what it's done for. That's why it's done. Because without that, we can't go rub shoulders with Silent Mentors. And they're the only ones who can really change creation a little. They're not going to destroy anything. Everything's fine with the galaxies and planets. All that's fine. But people on those worlds are nuts. They've lost memory of almost everything on some worlds, Earth in particular. So if they want to return to being the billions of years old creatures they really are as Atmas, they need to be able to be responsible with that awareness. It's very simple. We're in the process of becoming responsible with recovering who we are. That's pretty straightforward. Does that answer your question? And Quan, do you have anything you would like to ask or say? Doubts or fears, even we can address those too. Don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. Whatever you might want to say, this is a good, safe place to do it because it'll benefit you. Just benefit you.
I just got a very amazing experience today when I went to the source, and I got a formula, the mathematic formula. I have no idea what it is.
It's okay, but it was given to you, or you created it in that big sphere up in the.
No, happened to me.
When? During the journey?
Yeah, during the journey when I went to the source, and then one formula came up.
You went to the doors before they opened, the round doors?
No, when I went to the source.
Prime created.
Oh, okay, yeah,
the
but see
center.
that's where you will experience change right from the source itself. Because every time we go there, it changes you. You don't change you, it does. And that's always a gift, right? So if it's a formula you don't understand, don't worry about it, you will. When it's time to be used in some way for the benefit of all life, it'll just be at your fingertips. That's true for all of us. Pari, Rika. So when I answer this question or I hear this statement made by Quan, when we're talking about it, it benefits all of us. Always. It's the way the hue works. That's why I encourage people to come out of their shell and talk when they can, because it's a safe place to do it. There's no safer place on this earth than when we're in this hue expansion ray journey. We're still in it. There's no safer place. Do you have any other questions?
I would like to ask, can I? I would like to ask when I do the journey during the YouTube record, which I'm not joined to the live.
Which Atma to join to the light? What does that mean?
No, I mean, not other journey that I'm not join, but other group join. in your
when
channel.
she didn't
Well, yeah, you can
when
play
she didn't
them.
attend the journey. Yeah.
Well, you can play them, yes, but you're not actually on the original journey. It's benefiting you. You will get, because of what you know, you will get something out of those other journeys. It's not like you haven't gone on journeys, so it's brand new to you. People listening to those that don't know this work, that have not gone on journeys, it'll be like mindless entertainment. It'll be like watching a motion picture, just entertaining. They might learn truths and hear data, but it doesn't really change them experientially. They're not really experiencing anything. When you go on these other journeys that you didn't attend, they're going to benefit you. And that's for you too, Kwan. You can review any journeys you want. You're going to get benefit out of it because you can relate to everything that's being done in it as an Atma, not as a body and brain, as an Atma. That's the intelligent thing that's waking up in you. Same for Pari, same for me, same for all of us. Pari, you have any questions, perhaps?
No, I just expand more of my consciousness. But I want to share with Rika. Rika, you got to be very careful because now I know that you have the channel, but all the questions you ask for, I don't want it to be just information. I want you to have your own experience, to share the experience with people. You understand? Because all the questions when you read to send to us, that will be only information, no experience. Go on the journey, have experience of yourself, and share that experience.
Yeah, because if you share the experience, it should go back to my website at paralleltime.com because that's the doorway through which people can get books or the new audiobook with 66 voices. They can't get it anywhere else on this planet except through my website. And that website has a link that you can change the language to any other language on earth in the lower left-hand corner of the front page. So you might want to reference that because this work comes from me and the people I work with out beyond Earth. Does that make sense?
And the thing is, to help change the planet, people really have to understand this work. You do good things to introduce people, introduce these people to the work and get them back to like Skype website for them to really have experience themselves. It
Yeah,
will be
because
very helpful.
there isn't anybody else on Earth that is authorized to guide these journeys this way. You can't just copy them and then guide people on them because it won't work. It's not going to do the same thing. They have to work with Satnam and other beings and have to be prepared over decades, I guess, to do this kind of thing. So you can guide people, I suppose, but you have to have direct experience about what you're guiding or what you're doing, so that they can get a benefit from it. It's not just about making money off anything. That's okay, but it's about helping people recover who they are. That means they need to go on journeys themselves to get to where you are now. Same with Kwan or Pari or anyone. Does that make sense? I hope we're not rubbing you the wrong way, or I hope it all makes sense so that you can chart a good course through all this to continue to recover who you are. That's the most important thing. I don't know what it is you do. Pari maybe knows what your channel is or anything. I don't know anything about it. But it should be in harmony with this work, right?
I just have an idea, but I'm not do any action to make the channel yet because a lot of experience I don't have the same. That's why I'm not brave to do the channel because I don't want to make this work to misdirection.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why.
good. You can always share any channel you want about stuff you know about, make money on it, whatever, because you know about it, whether it's a cure for cancer or whatever it might be, or guidance, but you have to have the experience of it in order to guide people to get them to drop enough fear to have their own experience, because fear will prevent them from knowing anything. They can go around in circles looking at stuff on the internet and look at the condition of this world. What gurus from India do you know have changed this planet at all in 1,000 years? None. Why? Because they don't know They're not taught to get outside of Earth, the greater God they pray to every day. Most Buddhists don't even know how to do that. They don't know how to go to in the void or above it. They know how to go to the void, but they don't know how to go above it. Most of them don't. But once they become aware of it, they go right away because they're disciplined, right? It's the same with people. They need experience because in the end, I would say it's the hue expansion ray from Source itself that chooses to awaken you. It is the one power that manifests everything we imagine. As individuals, we don't have power to manifest what we imagine. We send that into the omnipresent hue, turns it around, and when it's ready, it manifests it as one power, undivided. That's how the hue expansion ray works in truth. You understand that? Does that make sense? Yeah. So then you can do whatever you want as long as it's in alignment with helping to transform the planet. Otherwise, you're not being part of the solution, you're being part of the problem. Like everyone else is on Earth. They're not going to stay like that. Eventually, they're going to come out of this demented, subconscious fear trap they're in. That's everybody on Earth I'm talking about now. Most people are not free of it, or Earth would be a different place right now. So we want to raise the vibration of the hue charge in Earth's water. That's our first steps. And you're doing that right now. Pari's doing it, Kwan's doing it, because you brought it back with you. It flows through you. This has nothing to do with you personally. It flows through you for your benefit, but then it continues out into the rest of the planet to start to change things. This is the energy that's changing things called disclosure. That is not being done by anybody on Earth. It's being done by vast organizations of world systems that have a focus on Earth to keep us from destroying ourselves. So they're doing disclosure whether people on Earth want it or not. No one on Earth has this choice anymore because they abuse it. They corrupt it. So they have to come out of this trap from the greater God they pray to. Actually has to come to this planet. And the beings from these other worlds are coming here all the time. They don't make themselves known to people yet because people aren't ready to accept it and keep it. They go in fear, they riot, they do all kinds of crazy things. They're blowing each other up now because of fear. That's all. That's got to stop. So part of disclosure, true disclosure, is ending wars on this planet. That's number one. There's not going to be a separate Russian and Chinese and American space program fighting for the spoils of other people's planets in space. They don't know it yet, but that's never, ever, ever going to happen. Never. Because space out there and all those suns and stars and planets are already occupied by far more advanced races than us. We'll never have the right to go put an American flag or Russian or Chinese flag on any of that. And we're going to find this out soon. If they want to play amongst the stars, then we have to be respectful and know the life that's out there and be invited to go on exchange programs. They can come here, we can go there. You see what I mean? Common sense, practical. Earth people are not yet practical. They don't think in common sense terms yet. They're not trained that way in colleges or universities or anywhere, in any religion on Earth yet. Because belief and faith should lead to direct experience. That's the whole purpose of them. Doesn't matter what faith someone's in or what they believe, as long as somehow they get more light and sound into it so that they can recover, make it alive faith that becomes direct experience. And then they know for themselves. That was the whole point of past teachers that came and died or were killed on this planet, to get people to become like them on their own 2 feet. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that makes sense to all of us. So I guess we're good. And I'll bring this recording.
I would like to share some first.
Sure, go
Can
right ahead.
I?
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yes, I would like to share because I trust this work and I very confident because when I came joy to this work, now I can see like a living power, heal energy in the
That's
air
great.
by
Perfect.
my eyes. I first time that I can saw it at the beach about May this year. But now when I came back home, my home is close to the mountains. I can see one more time, but it's more density, more living, more
It's more.
quantity.
That's because of a higher elevation.
Yes, I saw like for
There
2 months,
is. Yeah,
the energy is more a lot than the previous 2 months, as
you
I saw by
probably.
my eyes.
Yeah, it's good. But you didn't see it with your physical eyes. You saw it as the Atma communicating it through your eyes. So it seems like you're seeing it with your physical eyes. The hue can't be seen by human eyes. But you can, because you're running that body through the pineal gland, it makes, when you see the hue or hear it, you're hearing it just and seeing it just like you would with your physical eyes, but neither the eyes or the ears are really hearing or seeing it at all. You are. This is what's hearing and seeing it. That's really how it works. And if you know that, you're very much really evolved in a lot of ways. All of you are much more evolved and aware of how the hue works beyond Earth than people in all the religions of Earth put together. Simply because you're understanding the greater God that's out in space in the higher heavens. That's a good way of putting it. And it's accurate. The greater beings in life and heavenly people, they're out in our universe. And in higher dimensions, it's a multi-dimensional layered creation. It really is. And the more you know this, the more you get better direction to know what to do from one day to the next. In my case, this work is timed with transformation. I can't force it. I can't make the books New York Times bestsellers. I can't open a door to Hollywood. This has to be brought to me. My work is already out in the world, openly and honestly. There are people that are being prepared to come out of their unconsciousness, find this work, and then contact me because that's their job. It's part of how we do it. For instance, we can't take these books into feature films unless somebody in Hollywood finds this. Somehow they're guided to it. They see its potential because it's unmistakable. And then that's how doors open, by other people, not just by me knocking on doors. That won't work. Doesn't work. So my job is to prepare the way for other people to join in on this that are important to make it all work, whether it's money or a door into Hollywood or an agent or anything like that. I only have my own publishing company, but it has to do a lot more than it's done so far. And it's designed and destined to do that. But I have to fit into the timing of the good for all life. I can't just go out and make a feature film about ghouls and werewolves and vampires. That's for other people to do. I can't do that. I can't make films about ghosts or anything psychic, but I can make films that take people on journeys beyond Earth and up through the dimensions and never tell them that's what we're doing. I can show them. I don't have to say a thing. You just show it. Then everybody goes on the adventure and gets changed. That's what these books and films made from them are designed to do. Put a whole lifetime into it, it's got to be worth something. Are we good?
Hold on 1 second. We have this group journey in English. It's not only for Thai people. Those who can speak English, understand English, can always join us, to change yourself and to help transform the planet. If you have friends, relatives, or anyone you know, you can ask them to join us in this group.
Yeah, because
have
it
it once a month.
benefits. You're right, Pari. It benefits you, benefits them, because you're still a channel for the U expansion ray. You always are now. Can't back out of that. That's part of waking up, growing up, being who we are, not one of these. They're fine, but we've never been one of these. These are type of machines, like an AI, a biological DNA AI in a sense, organic, and we run them through the pineal gland. Just consider it far more advanced than AI, made with computer chips. What do you think came before computer chips? Computer chips in all day is trying to resemble what already exists in bodies. So if you understand that, then you understand a great deal. Still takes beings and beings running bodies on Earth to help change a world. Boots on the ground. Your boots on the ground now. I hope you understand this, because if you don't now, you will. For sure. Kwan, you okay with this? I know Pari is. So thanks, Pari. I think we had a journey for, I think it was the regular Thai group on Monday, and I think only one person was going to join. So we will not do that Monday. We'll do it the next time and get some more people involved first. That's a good way to go. It's really up to people. I don't control people. I don't control any of you, nor do I have any desire to do so, nor do I have any power, nor do I desire power. I'm perfectly happy being a conscious Atma in the omnipresent power itself, because then I have access to the whole thing. None of it's limited. I don't put any blocks or holds on it, how it moves through me and how it's going to wake people up. That's beyond me. I'm part of it consciously, but it takes a lot more beings on a lot more masterful levels than I am to pull this off. I hope you understand that. Thank you for having the courage, both of you. I acknowledge you, I respect you. And Pari for having the courage to do this with me all these years. We're just getting started. Disclosure is now starting from the US through the Pentagon. They're telling people classified stuff and showing videos of extraterrestrial craft now that they wouldn't talk about. They even killed people before to shut them up. They don't do that anymore. They're starting to disclose. It's the beginning. People is at each other's as stupidly opposite as they are in Congress in the United States. You've got very progressive Republicans. You've got some way too liberal Democrats who want to make this place into a hippie land and make it vulnerable to countries who just come in and take us over if we did that. Let everybody in, no matter who they are. Only the bad people come in that way. So that's had to be turned around. And the people in both factions of the government are now insisting upon disclosure. They're not asking anymore. So they've gotten the entire government to start to release things, and that is coming from outside this earth. The real inspiration for that is not coming from government people or classified people. It is being done, and they're being caught up in doing it for their own good, because it's going to be done whether or not they jump aboard or not now. And they know that. They've been told that. You're going to see some interesting things happen in the next year or two here on this planet. So I wanted to thank both of you and Pari for having the courage to do this, because there's not many that do yet, unfortunately. A lot of them come in, get a little mindless entertainment, and then they go off and play around the internet and get lost and forget all about it. And they're just like they were. They haven't changed. So you're changing. This is real important to me, that I see you changing, becoming you. That's what drives me. That's what drives me to work with Pari. She's becoming more and more who she is. I'm becoming more and more who I am, and everybody else is too. It's a win-win. So I'm going to give you a great big Torellian, 2 thumbs up, for Pari and all of you. And it comes through me. It's for me too. You know, he'd just grin at you. You ask him a question, you know what Torellian's answer will be? He won't say anything. He won't say anything. Because he knows it's coming through him. He knows it's already, to him, it's already done. He doesn't worry about the outcome. It's already finished. I'm learning how to be like that. It's already finished. See? And then I want to give you my Galactic Alliance salute, woohoo, because that makes it fun. I will stop the recording now.
So hold on. We expect more people to join us in a group journey in this like this next month probably.
Okay, well, that would be good. And the group journeys in Thai too, where they translate from English to Thai. It's all good. Doesn't matter. I do still a small English US journey that I put on my YouTube channel. Doesn't go on Pari's YouTube channel because what goes on her channel involves you. And she's not part of those journeys. She could be, but isn't right now. And they're not, there's like 4 or 5 people I take every 2 weeks in one of those journeys. They're on my YouTube channel. And they're in English. You can go and watch those. You can go and watch all the ones that Pari translates into Thai. You're already experienced on these journeys. You can get great benefit from all of them. It helps you be able to visualize what you need to see in these other locations. Because if you don't know what they look like, you cannot get there. If you haven't awoken what some place looks like the Hue Expansionary Academy, the Hue can't take you there, ever. You have to be consciously awake enough and aware to exercise your ability to see into the multidimensional universe, which is what these journeys awaken in people. And then you can sit down and do a Hue. Let's see, I want to go back to that teaching facility. I would really love Shantiel and Tonatiel to go with me, or I'd like maybe Satnam or maybe Ramu or Etta and Din. Etta and Din can take you any of these places. They're not even human. So it's up to you how you want to interact with them, right?
One more question. Yes, as you say, I can go everywhere that I want, right? Which means I can go as asthma during I'm sleep at night. Even my physical body right now cannot remember. Is it correct, right?
That's correct. But the Atma does. And eventually it'll pass this awareness to your body on earth so that it becomes enlightened. The Atma doesn't really become enlightened. The bodies you're running do. They're able to accept experiences they can't comprehend and then understand them. That is the job you have to the bodies you're running. That's it. But it's always better. I always recommend this. You try to go on these journeys by yourself out into the astral plane. It's levels of darkness there. You don't want to go into the lower astral plane at all. And you don't want to go in places where, without, I would say, take a master teacher with you. Go with one of the master teachers you've been introduced to on these journeys because you're going to be safe. You're going to go to places that will benefit you, benefit all life, and you're not just going to be wasting your time out there entertaining yourself. It's a big universe. You can get lost in it. As a matter of fact, you all already got lost in it doing that. That's why you're here on Earth. Remember that. It takes some really advanced beings to get us out of this mess, folks. It just does. And because they don't have subconscious minds or implants or anything, because they're the right ones to help us in this way. They're not trapped. They don't get affected. They don't get restimulated. They don't turn negative, suddenly fickle, turn on a dime and suddenly get angry or any of that. They don't have any of that problem that we have on Earth. That's why we have to have them help free this place. Without them, we haven't got a chance of waking up. It's a good thing they are motivated to do it, finally. Earth would just be stuck forever like this. People reincarnating here, no memory, another baby, wait 20 years, grow up, and then you become more mature with your emotional and mental forms, and then go through a whole life believing in something and die. Come right back here. Because you leave with the fear you die with. When your body stops, you take only one thing with you, what you're aware of. So when we leave this life, we want to be aware of at least how to get the Satnam's realm above the void, right? Minimum. Because that's where you'll go instead of back down in that muck. So yeah, that's something I would recommend. Anything else, Pari? Well, then I want to say, what else can I say? Oh yeah, yoo-hoo! Yippee-ki-yay! Happy, happy, happy. See you later.